A lot of things happening. Karma, the result of irresponsible actions, all of these things happening in the wake of uh, Trump's handling of the coronavirus. You cannot expect him to be able to lead this country when he can't even lead his own household. He can't even lead his own party. But MAGA supporters thinking that he can lead the country. So what we have is the result. This is the guy who has been consistently dismissing the seriousness of the coronavirus, consistently dismissing the importance of masking up, wearing a mask, right? And I've seen some conservatives online, Breitbart and others, try to equate people who have been following the guidelines, people who have been acting responsibly, with people who have not, right? So if you get the virus and you've been acting responsibly, and if you get the virus and you have not been acting responsibly, the two things do not connect, right? We have a president who spent the last 6 or 7 months downplaying this virus. Oh, it's going to go away. It's going to magically disappear. Listening to him, you would have had kids in school in springtime, right? But Friday, it was confirmed that Trump and his wife have tested positive for the coronavirus. It shocked the world, but it's really not a surprise based on his actions. Now he's in the hospital, and the questions are there. How many were exposed to this virus because of the president? Many. So if you remember, we talked about it. There was a crowded Rose Garden event. This event coming under intense focus and scrutiny. This ceremony that happened September the 26th, where Trump formally announced his nomination for Amy Coney Barrett, the conservative that he wants to put onto the Supreme Court. Had this big hoopla about it. And according to experts, it takes around 5 to 6 days for symptoms to start after contracting the virus. 5 to 6 days. So if you remember the scene during this announcement of this conservative judge that they want to replace, RBG. If you remember, very few people were wearing masks. Very few. The seating was close. Some people did fist bumps and elbows, but many shook hands and many even hugged each other. Things that we have learned is not supposed to happen, okay? Not while we have this pandemic going on. And so what I often hear defenders of the president say is that I was outside. If it's outside, but you're in each other's face, you're touching each other, you're not wearing masks, you can't play the it's outside card. You can't do that. You have to do everything that you can, not just some things when it's convenient. So 8 people who attended that event, which we watched online, have now been confirmed to have the virus. This is the virus that the president said it was going to magically disappear. It was going away. During the debate, he talked about Biden for wearing his mask. Trump says he wears a mask when he thinks he needs it. You don't know. You need it all the time, fool. And people that listen to this president, people like Trump who continue to tempt fate, are getting the poetic justice that is obviously going to be the result. So aside from the president, aside from the first lady, ex-New Jersey governor Chris Christie has the virus. He's in the hospital. Kellyanne Conway, who resigned as Trump's senior advisor in the summertime, she confirmed she has the virus. Mike Lee, Republican senator from Utah, he has the virus. In addition to that, North Carolina Senator Tom Tillis, he has the virus. The University of Notre Dame president, Reverend John Jenkins, has the virus. Several journalists who attended the event, they have the virus. I mean, so it is, of course, Trump and his wife testing positive after President's communications director, Hope Hicks. She had the virus. Now, she did not attend the Rose Garden event, but she was on Air Force One with the president. She attended the debate with the president. And it is just a clinic, pardon the pun, but a clinic on the behavior that should not be taking place. The president has been putting out dangerous messaging to the country. He is directly threatening efforts to decrease the spread. Since he's been in the hospital, he's not done things to help. His whole thing is image, right? Why don't you get better and encourage your supporters and your staff, for that matter, to wear masks and behave responsibly so we can slow the spread. That's what we were talking about all springtime. They want to slow the spread. The attorney general sat on the same row as the vice president, and they say that Barr has tested negative thus far. But 7.3 million people in this country have contracted the virus, the highest figure in the world. Remember when Trump was always talking about testing? Oh, we're doing the most testing, which we weren't, but we're doing the most testing, right? They have faulty tests, these quick tests, as they call, right? But they've been faulty. Why do I say that? Because for multiple reasons, but they're not as effective and accurate as the lab testing. So they're testing folks, getting a false negative, or the person is in a, as far as having the virus, they're at a point where they are not showing to have the virus, but being asymptomatic. And then these people are allowed to be around the president and his folks and their passengers around. And in addition to that, one is not to cancel out the other. They're testing and you're wearing masks. The White House has been, in many cases, testing and not wearing masks because, it says that they're negative, so we don't need to wear a mask. That's not true. You need to wear the mask in addition. So if you're testing them and obviously they're positive, they don't need to sit with the president. But if you're testing them and they're negative and they sit with the president, y'all still need to have a mask on. Currently, we have 209,000 people who have died from the coronavirus. Didn't talk about it much, but last week, I even lost a family member to the coronavirus, a cousin in Virginia, rest in peace, to, like I said, COVID-19. And it is just it's a very interesting time. The risk to Donald Trump's health. I mean, you can't get a straight answer from this administration on a good day. So a day when the president is in the hospital, flown to the hospital after a COVID-19 diagnosis, you're not going to get straight answers from this administration. So you're getting various reports, and of course, the president will say, "Oh, I'm feeling great, wonderful, beautiful." If you were feeling great, wonderful, beautiful, you wouldn't be in the hospital, man. So, I mean, he continues to try to spin images and trying to play a role when this is a serious thing.